Hey everyone, I'm H. Charles, and you may have heard of an urban legend that Armageddon is still alive to this day in 2023. Well, it's not an urban legend because what I'm gonna do right now, I just entered WarmNet, and you can see games already hosted. That's not an urban legend. You can buy Worms Armageddon on Steam and GOG. Ever since Armageddon, released in 1999, has its biggest community out of the entire Worms series, we have shown signs of evolution. And one of the signs would be teams that have been accepted to the wide public of the community. And some of them would be racing scheme. And I'm going to showcase 5 racing schemes using transmutalities as well as one unusual way to move around. Starting off with, I believe, the classic rope race. You can see map names and offers in the map titles. And starting off rope race, time's gonna start when I hit start the game. Okay, 3, 2, 1, go. There you go. Placing my worm on start. So the house rule for all racing schemes is start to finish. This means we're going from start to finish. Enough said. But what this actually means is with manual placement enabled in scheme options, manual placement of worms enabled. The map often can just tell that, hey, you're supposed to start here, and everyone usually complies. And what happened here is one of the scheme settings called anti-sync. For the one worm to plop, I'll need to plop twice in a row, or while still being airborne, which is a very good safety net for maps like this. So starting off with rope race, which is I think the easiest way to explain what a racing scheme is. You go from point A to point B in a maze using an interrope. What's important to mention is rope power. The 2 rope powers that you really need to know, even as a spectator, is usually the power slider is 1 for 5. However, rope power 3, which appears in intermediate, has 2 reshots, and also has a slightly shorter rope length, but in this case it doesn't matter. And rope power 5, which I'm showcasing here, you can reshot infinite times in a row while you're airborne. We usually have rope power 5 in almost all roping schemes, which what we would usually call. But yeah. Another thing you may notice, I have parachute equipped. Sometimes when I make derp, for example like this, the parachute gets deployed automatically, which sometimes can save my turn. Well, not this time, but yeah, parachute can save people sometimes. There you go. That was an actual decent example there. And yeah, there you go. And yeah, just going through this map here. But it's also worth mentioning that what I guess the size of the maps here. PNG maps in Armageddon was not a thing since the first version of Armageddon. It's actually part of one of many community patches made by the one and only Dead Code. And he is pretty much the sole reason why the game is still alive to this day. Color maps can be as big as 32,000 pixels, both wide and high, which is ridiculous. Don't make big maps like this. But this means that pretty much our creativity of the entire community is only the limit of how much we can do with these maps. Fly down here. So the community also named some rope tricks, which is something myself to this day doesn't even understand. But hey, there you go. I just cleanly did that. Oh yeah, shout out to these people who are part of. I believe they're called rope addicts. It was a community way back in early 2000s. I don't think they're a thing any these days. Um, but yeah, roping is a beautiful art. Quoting map like it's for some it may even be a lost art in some ways because you can do some really beautiful stuff with roping. Kind of like skateboarding in a way, I would say, IRL. Not sure what that symbol is supposed to be. Is that supposed to be their logo? Not sure. I wouldn't know because I discovered Armageddon in 2015. Oops. I guess I can also talk about my scheme settings. So there are a couple ways that rope race is played usually. What I have is what people call 30 plus 10. What this means, I have 30 seconds of third time and 10 seconds of retreat time. I believe the league scheme has 40 seconds of turn time and no retreat time. I'm not sure why that's the case, but I digress. Because in previous versions of Armageddon, you would have to use a banana bomb that would not explode at all to gain 10 seconds of retreat time, which was inconsistent. People didn't like that for some reason. But now, ever since 3.8 has more scheme settings, automatic retreat time is now replacing the banana bomb, and I just messed that up. Oh yeah, these worms are just the part of the map. They don't do anything. That's just still art. What was that art shop? I don't remember. Still life. Yeah, that's just still life. A bunch of apps have still life like this, made out of worm sprites. It's not just worm sprites specifically. It can be like any video game character or franchise. Because there are a lot of maps that are also showcased that are using sprites from other franchises. But here we go, trying to traverse this big climb out of Super Sheep. There you go. Got it. Oops. Okay, so I'm not sure how much of the map I have remaining. But I guess if I don't have anything much to say, this would be a good time to read donations. Maybe. Okay, got that fly. Wasn't really sure that's how I was supposed to do it. Yeah, I just get stuck on it's just not optimal. Maybe it's probably because you're watching a 30 FPS video. I think I'm streaming 30 FPS. Maybe. I mean, I'm fine. I might enable Riva Tuner in a bit, but can I do that on a fly? Yeah, there you go. Private is fine for me. Those don't know what you're looking at here. This is Riva Tuner. It's an overlay that shows your computer's performance. As you can see, 500 FPS on Armageddon, no problem. So gonna hide that now. I think. Nope. I won't hide it now. Whoops. That's fine. You can see how much of a potato my computer is now. But yeah, as you can see in this map, mazes of rope races can be all shapes and sizes. And difficulty-wise, they're not treated equal. Can I get this? I might fall down because of retreat time. Yeah, okay. So 10 seconds retreat time. If after this 10 seconds retreat time, there you go. After 10 seconds of retreat time, you just lose control. You're just gonna fall down. So there's that. Another thing you may notice is my resolution. I'm actually playing on 1080p, but in Armageddon 3.8, there's an undocumented feature that allows you to stretch Armageddon in game, which, and in this case, what I'm doing is I have Armageddon set to first off, I have an NVIDIA custom resolution, which is half of 1080p, which I remember is 960 by 540, something like that. I have that set to Worms Armageddon. And then I have a registry key, which tells me the Windows side should be 1080p. And that way I can see Armageddon, Armageddon's like pixels twice as big, which in some schemes which I will showcase does help for figuring out precision. Not really used for rope racing, but unless you have tunnel vision or something. But yeah, Armageddon's resolution, or just any game from second generation Worms, treats resolution way differently. It's not that sensitive, scale is different. But in case of Armageddon, or well, Worms 2 or World Party, resolution just expands your peripheral vision. And now, do I have this? Yes, I do. So this map we have a banana cannon here, so I'm just gonna throw a banana. Whee! There you go. And that's how the map should end, but I have anti-sync enabled, so I'm just gonna surrender. Now this is the point where I would usually say it's best of 1, and I'm always drawing the games, which means the game will never end. But this time best of 0, so I can just play again. Pick the new map, which is which will now be Bungee Race. And here we go. So what is Bungee Race? Again, start to finish. But this time, using the bungee, I'm going I'm going places now. So Bungee Races usually consists of multiple chambers, and to get through each of them, you need to do specific bungee jumps. As you can see, I did one right here. These spikes do nothing to me because that's just part of the map. There are no tile entities in Armageddon maps. Interactable objects, I don't know what to call them, but yeah. Bungee Race. Another thing you may notice, I have my worms are muted. I literally have a sound bank that's just full of muted samples. That's because I personally have worms saying stuff distracts me. Bungee! That was just me saying it. Yeah, I'll just get sick of it every time I hear bungee. Every time I have a bungee going on. So me having it muted, it just lets me focus a bit more. Oh yeah, and this can also have fast walk. Whoops. Yeah, and this time I also have loss of control doesn't end turn. If I take any damage, even though I have infinite health enabled in this scheme, my turn would not end. And you might notice turn time this time is going upwards. That is because I have infinite time enabled. Technically, it's not infinite. It's like 18 hours because integer limit. But for purposes of what I'm doing, it's good. It's a big enough number. Yeah, time is going up because if I was going to view this game in a replay form, I would be able to see times up to the frame, which is how map specific challenges are retimed. So let's see if I can get this bungee jump. Yes, but yeah, bungee is an insanely hard tool. I usually just use it to negate fall damage in intermediate schemes. But in case of schemes where bungee usage is extreme, it's quite difficult. Yeah, I just bounced off. This is why I love Armageddon's physics. I just need to get velocity, good velocity here, and yeah, sometimes I'm just gonna bounce off. I have infinite teleports, but I usually just use it to get back to places where I've been previously. Because, well, there's no point in me doing previous jumps that I've already done. But that was too much. Yeah, I do need to mash space because sometimes while I'm airborne, or well, while falling, I can still pick a location for where I'm supposed to teleport and I just fire it. That is a known glitch as far as I know. There you go, got it. But yeah, some jumps will require multiple attempts. Speaking of multiple attempts, this coming up jump here is too hard for me. I'm gonna give a couple tries and then you'll see what I'll do. Maybe if I can have teleport, just teleport out of here. I have a funnier way, I think. So I'm supposed to get up on top, of this palm tree. But I did manage to get this couple tries, but it's not consistent, I believe. But the biggest reason why I cannot really do it is because there's no wall I can bounce off of. Whoops. Yeah, let's just screw this. I have a better way to do this. I'll just put a girder here. There you go. Alright, that'll do. I fell. But yeah, that jump is insanely hard. Never managed to clear it myself. I mean, I did. Again, inconsistent. For marathon safety, I'm just gonna put a girder there because it's funny. Rest of the jumps I have managed to clear successfully, though. Oh, got it. Okay. I don't think that was the way I was supposed to clear, but sure. Here we go. Just going to the next jump here. Yeah. I'm supposed to get up here. Okay, yeah, this one's kind of tough because the tunnel I'm supposed to get into is kind of small. There's also a diagonal ceiling. I have managed to get this one consistently though. I know I can do it. Oops. You may also notice I'm holding X. I have rebound X to be F8. There is a module where you can do that with. It's called remap keys. Got it. There you go. So instead of reaching far away, for my keyboard, I just have X in the bottom row, which is more convenient for me, especially when roping. When as soon as I hook the first time, I just tap X and that F8, which like covers like half of my keyboard. Also have a 65% keyboard, so I have to hold FN plus 8. And I just skipped one jump. I'm supposed to do one more jump there. Okay. Well, that's one way to do it. And here, and yeah, then we have one last jump here. I need to be careful this time because if I overcrank my jump, I would plop. There you go. I just showcased that. I have anti-sync again, so we're fine. Whoops. But yeah, as you may have seen in an actual Armageddon speedruns, we do have, well, Worms speedruns. In both Armageddon and World Party, we do have some bungee jumps. So, it's a transferable skill, I hope. There's also a bungee shopper scheme, but I have never seen it played by anyone. Seriously. It is a thing though on the Ultimate Site Free League. By the way, the Ultimate Site, very cool website. Please check it out. Tell-wa.com. And there you go. We got to the finish line. Just surrendering on the spot. And moving on. Next up is Jetpack Race. Now you may be thinking, the easiest utility to maneuver around. Well, what if I told you that the maps have very tight corridors? So, jetpack can traverse through very tight gaps. As tight gaps as the Worms hitbox, I believe. However, you can bounce off like crazy with the jetpack, which is why the races for that utility are so tough. The counter above me is how many fuel points I used, because there are two ways you can play jetpack race. One with I can't get in here. One way would be time trial, which is again I have timer ascending. The other way would be fuel trial, which is to use as few points as possible. And yeah, in this case, having a very small resolution and stretched really helps out here, because I can see specific pixels perfectly, which makes it easier for me to evaluate what I'm supposed to do. Oh, I just got stuck in this cactus. Put that out of context. Come on. Oh, wait, wrong way. And we just have, and this map is usually just a lap, so what I'm just gonna do, I'm gonna land back on start and just surrender. That was Jetpack Race. I forgot the split. Whoops. No, I forgot to edit the scheme here. Hey, we could do some scheme editing on the fly here. There you go. Hey, Oscar, how you doing? And next up is Boom Race. I have shown this map before on Boom Race Showcase. Now this is the one map where I can confidently showcase the scheme on. So Boom Race is the main premise of the scheme is that we're on artillery mode. We have this selection of weapons, all of infinite quantities, and we're supposed to get from start to finish again. However, this time we are boosting ourselves with weapons because that's the only way we can traverse. We also have loss of control, not ending turn and shot not ending turn. So we can fire as many shots as we can. I forgot to split again. Yeah. So one thing. So this is where small resolution really does shine here, because one of the things you can do is figure out ever so tiny increments of shots, because worms in worm sprites are not vectorized. What I'm trying to say is what I'm trying to say is every time you make a shot, there's only a limited amount of ways the worm can change face. It can change the face, and so is the crosshair. That way you can figure out precise shots of every small increment of an angle. And you may notice that I use a sheep here. The difference between dynamite, sheep, and mines, and every other weapon, I think holy nades as well. Yes, that's called notching, exactly. That's something you will probably have heard in commentaries of Armageddon speedruns. Yes, so sheep, mine, and dynamite, and holy nade. What are the differences? Their centers of explosions are lower than what you usually expect. This allows these weapons to have different trajectories, which in casual intermediate games that does get used. That does get used quite a lot, because sometimes a dynamite or a sheep can do a specific block where a grenade cannot. Or sometimes, as you may have seen right now, it can get me up ledges where I can't even shot directly below me, because sheep can be detonated on input. One annoying thing about shotguns in this team is that you have to shoot it twice, which sometimes you only need one shot of, and then the other shot you just need to fire yourself. And yeah, low gravity can also get you places further, because you may notice that the goal of this scheme is to get flying, flying as much as possible, not to take as much damage, because you don't take damage at all. Oh, okay, we have I'm in a terrible spot here. Might be fine now. Okay. Now just a deflect shot here. Let's see here. I'm just stuck in a hole here, but that's fine. Right, there we go. Oh. And we're just going to the end here. And that's the entire, and that's pretty much Boom Race. Okay, and finally we have one last scheme, which is parachute race. Um, again, placing a start. This time we have infinite parachutes, and you may be thinking, how do you traverse all of this? First off, parachutes can be also deployed manually by tapping space. However, the important part of the parachute is it's influenced by wind. Wind you can see in the bottom right corner. Sorry, bottom left corner is turn time. The bottom right corner we can see the wind gauge. Also have the also have an infinite teleport in case of things going bad. I'm just gonna do that now. I'm just failing this initial couple jumps here. One thing I can mention about history of this scheme is that previously you just had to smash F8 every time you wanted to select, every time you wanted to use parachute because parachutes don't get redeployed automatically. You don't choose a parachute while you're parachuting, let's put it that way. So Rubber Worm had to come in and have what was that scheme setting? Remember weapon or something like that? I don't remember exactly, but yeah, Rubber Worm is a mod that back then enabled more scheme settings. Weapons don't change automatically, thank you. But yeah, parachute race. You have the most important part about parachute race, about just designing a map for it, is that Warp's hitbox is 9x16. You can do precise maneuvers with that knowledge, as I'm showcasing it right now. As you can see, I was just getting stuck on these spikes because that's how the big hitbox is. It's also shaped like a vase, which is also why I can get stuck easily in tight spots like these. I think with this one I can just fall down. But yeah, Armageddon 3.8, Rubber Worm is now part of the actual game. There's no need to install it again. Another thing you may notice, I'm skipping turns. That's because while I do have infinite time, a new wind I need to make new wind or new wind setting every time I skip a turn. Because sometimes some jumps need red wind, some jumps need blue wind. And since you only get one wind setting every turn, skipping a turn gives me new wind setting, which allows me to play this scheme. I just missed that. There you go. And yeah, I also have really big resolution that just so you can, I hope, see. There are 1 pixel. There are 1 pixel wide nubs in the wall here, and that's what I was able to latch on when parachuting. And this time I need red wind, so I'm gonna skip. I said red wind. There you go, that'll do. Okay, in this case, I'm gonna need blue wind. Yeah, that should be fine. Oh my god, I choked it. It's fine. Try again. I said try again. But yeah, in this game, sub-pixels also exist. Which is why you may have seen why I've fallen down. And sometimes I didn't. There you go. Going through this map. What am I supposed to do here? Okay, I see. I missed it. But yeah, I do have teleports again, just so I can, again, come back to a specific section of the map. There is... Yeah, you can... Yeah, once you fall down here, you do have... you do have a way to get back, but you would usually do that in the versus game. Or, well, maybe during a serious time trial. Okay, got it. Oh, okay. Oh. Ah, messed up. But yeah, I'm over here. I'm double tapping that because when I get out of the parachute, I still have velocity. So that little bit of velocity still allows me to go places. Now here's the cool trick. You may think I can get down here. I can. Just mashing space here, as you can see, that's how you can get there. That was I believe is a 16 gap. I don't know how wide that gap is, but basically you can't fall down there about anything. But if a parachute pan, you can fall down. So that's a cool mechanic. And then yeah, we have more of these stairs here. But this is also why a lot of these things are mirrored. So that you can do this exact trick with the same wind. Oh. Also, you may notice that I can see the finish line. Sometimes it's going to be when I hit surrender on the finish line. So as you can see, just doing a specific thing over and over again. Whoops. I think that was sub-pixels there. And there you go. Time's gonna be when I hit surrender. Time. There you go. And there you go. That's my racing scheme showcase. 38 minutes. That's actually way faster than I was expecting. Obviously, this is not a serious run because I had to skip one jump in Bungee Race. But yeah, my initial estimation was 1 hour, and I think that's where I'm still gonna stay. I think that's still where it's gonna stay. As for shoutouts, I would like to first off give a shout out to the Worms Speedrunning Discord server. Primarily Waffle Bricks, Bablack, Psychotropic, and Toby Trigger. If anyone's interested in speedrunning any game from the Worms series, please check out that Discord server. You can find it on speedrun.com/worms. Also, shout out to, well, the map creators, being Repoer, Bloopy, Case, Terror, Big Billy, and Zippy. You can check out their maps and many more at Worms map database at wmdb.org. Also, check out again the ultimate set of Worms Armageddon, tos-wa.com. If anyone has any technical questions about Armageddon, you can ask them the Worms Armageddon Steam discussions. And yeah, I think that's all the shoutouts. I think. So yeah, let's get the marathon going.